Mitt Romney, the clear winner in yesterday's Florida primary. It was over in like 90 seconds. But after weeks of negative campaigning between all the candidates, some are wondering, is anyone really coming out on top in the big picture? Let's take a look at this. The Florida primary, listed as one of the most negative campaigns ever. One out of every 11,000 plus TV ads that aired in the last week were negative. 92% of them were negative overall. So how do Floridians feel about the mudslinging in retrospect? Chris Markowski is a Tampa-based radio talk show host and host of the show, The Watchdog on Wall Street. He's got a rich business background. Chris, welcome.
Good morning.
You got this primary season fresh off a huge win from Newt Gingrich. How, in your mind, did Mitt Romney come out and take this thing?
Well, I think it had more to do, quite frankly, with the debates rather than the money spent here in the state of Florida, because Mitt Romney had the money in South Carolina and he lost. So you saw two divergent things there. He did really, really well in the debates. He took it to Newt Gingrich in the debates. Yes, he spent money here. They keep talking about all the carpet bombing. But the reality is, I think a lot of the people out there, I think it eventually becomes static to them, all that negative advertising after a while. It's almost like the Peanuts. Wah, 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 wah. Nobody wants to listen to it anymore.
Right. Hey, which one of the candidates overall, though, you think ran the most negative campaign? We listened to a lot of the stump speeches, and they seem just to be heaping hate on each other.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, well, it's like who's nastier? It almost seems to devolve to my father can beat up your father. Yesterday, there were some robocalls running here in the state of Florida talking about Mitt Romney denying kosher meals to Holocaust victims.
Right.
Nobody knew what was going to happen next. I mean, it was getting a little bit out of control. But that's why I think people eventually just turned the whole thing out. I think they decided based upon the debates rather than the negative advertising.
Especially, what about your area in particular, Tampa, the so-called I-4 corridor? That seemed to go to Mitt Romney as well.
Yeah, very, very important area. He spent a lot of time down here as well. You take a look. I mean, well, you got the younger people as well. They tended to go to Ron Paul in this direction. But overall, I think it was a state. Right. I think it's very important for Mitt Romney to win this state, and I think he did very well.
And negatives overall, we understand, are rising. But let's compare it to the person that all these candidates want to beat, and that's President Obama. In 2009, President Obama's approval rating in Florida was 56.8%. Now it's 43.6%. It's down 13%. Why is that?
Well, it's taken a long time for the economy to recover down here. I mean, we were, you hate using the phrase ground zero, one of the ground zeros for the whole real estate fiasco. The economy is turning around down here little by little. I think Rick Scott, our governor, has done an absolutely fantastic job in going about attracting businesses to the state, but it has taken a while. You take a look at certain pockets in and around the country, a lot of the things that were promised. Remember that old Peggy Joseph line there, if I vote for him, he's going to support me. It was a very famous thing from one of his campaigns. I don't think that people are getting that support. And, people in Florida, they'll change their mind very, very quickly in regard to somebody.
And overall, Chris, just your opinion, do you believe the Republicans helped or hurt themselves in Florida against President Obama?
Oh, I think they helped. I don't think any of this negative stuff matters. It's kind of like the Giants. They lost to the Redskins about a month and a half ago, but they're in the Super Bowl today. Once the Super Bowl kicks off, and that's the general election, none of this negative stuff's going to matter.
But, Chris, it's kind of negative for you to bring up the Giants in their last loss. I happen to be at that game, and I thought this is a very low blow, especially considering the Bucs have not made the playoffs and had to change coaches.
I'm with you.
Right,
I'm a Giants fan. No way.
Like everyone in Florida, they've transplanted from New York. Chris Markowski, thanks so much. Good luck on your show today.